If you're a sports fan, make sure you go check out SportsCastr for all of your sports news. Whether you are a Patriots fan or not, this is the perfect way to meet all of your sports needs and is a platform I personally use myself in case any of you guys want to catch me live talking about training camp recaps, etc. I'll leave a link in the description below. What is up, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global back here with another video, and as I'm sure pretty much all of you know by now, the New England Patriots have finally re-signed wide receiver Demaryius Thomas. This has been a very popular discussion and a very popular point of discussion when looking at the New England Patriots team the past couple of days ever since roster cutdowns and then making their final 53-man roster for the 2019 season, which will be kicked off and will have banner night this coming Sunday versus the Steelers. If you guys would like to know all the cuts and the transactions that the Patriots did make in order to get down to 53 players, I made a video on that you guys can go check out. And I also made a video talking about the Patriots' final 53-man roster and what that looks like. There will be a link to that video in the description below if you also would like to check that one out. But really, ever since the Patriots had released Demaryius Thomas, which by far was probably the most surprising cut, I think one of the more surprising moves could have been the two trades the Patriots made, that being Keon Crossan and then Duke Dawson. Obviously, Keon Crossan being more of the surprise trade in my opinion. But it really brings up the point, and that being, well, why the heck did the Patriots even release Demaryius Thomas if they wanted to keep him, especially after he played, the Patriots keeping him for this long in the offseason? Why even risk another team picking him up? And I also want to just approach this comment somebody commented in my section. I forget on what video it was, but somebody said that Demaryius Thomas was a restricted free agent and that if any other team wanted to sign him, that the Patriots would have had to give them rights. Now, I don't know if that's just somebody trolling me or somebody genuinely thinking that, and I don't know if anybody else is thinking that, but I just wanted to come on here and make it clear that he was able to sign with any team he wanted. In fact, the Broncos were a team of discussion. They were looking into signing him, but ultimately they decided to drop it because they knew that Demaryius Thomas was going to re-sign with the Patriots. Everybody knew Demaryius Thomas was going to sign with the Patriots, but ultimately, if he wanted to go and he wanted to sign with his former team, the Broncos, or any other team that was interested in him, he would have been able to do so as he was a free agent. The reason he did re-sign with the Patriots is just because there was a lot of mutual interest between him and the Pats. So I kind of avoided this question, so back on topic, but why did the New England Patriots release him? And to me, I think there really is two different reasons that they possibly could have done this. The one reason is that they wanted to change something up about his contract. Now, they did re-sign him to a one-year deal, so obviously they did not want to change the duration of the deal, but Demaryius Thomas was set to make about $6 million with the Patriots this upcoming season, and currently we don't know exactly what he's going to be making on the new one-year deal he got. Is it going to be more? Is it going to be the same? Is it going to be less? So to me, that is a very interesting point, but the last point is that the New England Patriots have a lot of moves that they already want to make on their 53-man roster, and there's some guys that you just cannot release because you know for a 100% fact they're going to get claimed by someone else. And the best way that I can really shed some light on that point is going to be an example, and that's going to be Brandon Bolden. Okay, for years, let's just take last year for an example. The Patriots are making the 50-man roster cutdowns, and they need to release someone, and they'll make adjustments to their 53-man roster within the couple of days and bring that released player back. But for the time being, they had to let them go. And Brandon Bolden's just someone that they've done it with many times. Except, of course, last season, Brandon Bolden did decide to sign with another team. And the Patriots really have to do this because there's players that they wanted to put on the injured reserve, which in a result would clear up some more space on the 53-man roster. And what I mean by that is the fact of the whole injured reserve situation. If you place a player on the injured reserve before the start of the season, their season is going to be over. So this means guys like Yoda Froholt, David Andrews, Derek Rivers, Yannick Just, all guys that I just named were guys that were placed on before making the final 53-man roster, which by NFL rules means that their season is over. They are not able to return even if they're healthy. Guys like N'Keal Harry, Cameron Meredith, who are placed on the injured reserve, they are able to come back later into the season, but that's only because they originally made the Patriots 53-man roster. And as we all know, when they finally do put a player on the injured reserve, that does clear up a roster spot. and of course, in which they decided to bring back Demaryius Thomas with. I hope that was able to clear that up a little bit. But ultimately, this move is going to be a really good one by the Patriots. I'm super glad that they did bring him back. I know that was the intention to bring him back the entire time. But in general, just having him on this roster is going to be super, super important, especially with N'Keal Harry being on the IR and missing half the season. The Patriots have the oldest roster in the NFL for this upcoming season, but I think that is going to actually benefit them in a lot of different ways. A lot of fans I've seen out there when revolving to the Patriots want them to get younger. They want them to get younger guys, and the Patriots did that for a little bit, and it wasn't totally benefiting them. Yes, they have more of a ceiling for the future, and maybe they have some better abilities at the time, but with Bill Belichick and the Patriot system, nothing beats experience. And really, Demaryius Thomas has showed us that experience is super important, and you can use that in such a beneficial way. I firmly believe that Demaryius Thomas is going to be a big piece to this New England Patriots offense this upcoming season, and that he's really going to have a good connection with Tom Brady. He showed us in the game versus the Giants that he definitely still has it in him. I get that it was Jarrett Stidham at quarterback. I get it was just preseason. But what you do have to understand is that he still played an NFL game and he's still showing us what he's got. And I'm sure Demaryius Thomas was not necessarily going full 100% in that preseason game. But that is it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on Demaryius Thomas finally being back with the Patriots? I'm sure I already know what your answer is going to be, but still leave it in the comment section below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already. Make sure you guys share this video with everybody who knows when go to the Pages Global family. Other than that, I will catch you guys in another video.